thought it was like, there we go.
There you go. That's
Okay.
perfect. Right. So, on the Tim Marner Podcast Show today, I've got my friend Nicola Pink, the owner of Pink Media. Hi, mate.
Hello.
What should we talk about? Right, here we go. So, let's start off.
Yeah.
Right, when did you start this journey on your own to becoming, I'm going to say, a successful businesswoman?
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
You probably don't say that.
No, this is
because
just,
you've got a little bit of imposter syndrome.
I have, yeah. As I say, this is just very weird being this side when I'm so used to being on your side. So
Have you never thought about doing this and actually going, talking to people and actually, I mean, how many people have you got working for you now?
So we're a team of 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done bits, like universities have approached me. I've done a lot of women in business conferences, things like that. But not as much recently. I find I like the team doing it because I just love to see them succeed. And one of my managers is on a course at the moment, and that's where I get a kick out of things, seeing people succeed. Because apart from, I've always tried to take on people from uni, straight from uni, not because I want to mould them and make them Pink Media, but yeah, as I say, that's where I kind of get a kick out of it, seeing other people do it. So that's why I don't tend to do stuff like this anymore.
You should do though, shouldn't you?
Yeah, no, I should. For me, I think
So
I'd enjoy it.
were you on your own to begin with? When did you decide that? Did you always knew you wanted to do PR? You wanted to do media and stuff?
I knew I wanted to be a journalist. So my earliest memory was sort of sitting down with family members and nicking the newspaper and reading it as a kid. So there was always that. And then when I went to uni, I did my journalism degree, and I was really lucky. I just banged on doors and got work experience and managed to get some with Trinity Mirror, which was Liverpool Echo Group, and just worked my arse off. And they were like, "Do you want a job?" Because I just enjoyed it so much. I think I forgot that I was working for free.
What was the goal back then for yourself? Like, what did you want to become? What was your?
I don't, at that point, I think a reporter. I think I got a taste of it at uni, and I thought, yeah, this is where I'm going. I loved people. I loved people's stories, and that was just it. I couldn't believe that was a job. And then when the reason I got the job was one day I went to reception. I'm gabbing to Ray, the security guard, as you do when you go for your lunch. And this guy was putting a death notice in about his brother. Older chap, and he was talking about how the school he went to were putting a plaque up because I can't remember the finer details, my memory's shocking, and I just thought, oh, wasn't that lovely? And I was gabbing, and I went back to the newsroom and I thought, hang on, that was a story. And I remember legging it down Old All Street with a camera, and getting him in, and it made the front page.
Really?
And that was what got me the job. And I just thought, yeah, I want to do this, and that became my career then. I did a few years with them, until redundancies started happening in the journalism world.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to go before I'm pushed here. And it wasn't just me, just everyone's jobs were at risk.
What were you thinking of doing?
PR was starting to be talked about. And
what is PR from your perspective?
Well, PR then was the dark side.
Yeah.
So PR was being the other side of it, selling stories into the media.
Yeah.
And you got a better wage.
Yeah. Because it's still got a bad name for itself, hasn't it? It's still got like a bit of a stigma attached to it.
Yeah, perception's really bad. And that's why we've never really said we're a PR agency and that's it. I've always tried to add more weight to it because, yeah, like I remember going to a networking club when I first started and they said, so are you Max Clifford? And I remember sobbing because I just thought, oh no, I've left a career in journalism. And yeah, I remember when I told my family, my nan sobbed, she was like, oh no, you're going to be a PA. There was just so much misunderstanding and lack of knowledge about what PR was. And it's a luxury still. People still see it as a luxury, you know.
So what was the transition then? So you've been made redundant. And
yeah, well, thinking... I didn't want to be made redundant, and I went to someone's leaving do, one of the reporters, and met this guy, and he was like, "Oh, I own a PR company," and I was like, "Gives a job," because that was what I was like. And this was also the same time I just started drinking red wine, I think. Right. And he said, "Well, if you're still serious, ring me on Monday when you've not had a red wine." And I thought, okay. And I rang him on Monday and I got the job. So yeah, and he's a guy who's still got an agency in Liverpool. He was such a mentor to me. I loved working for him.
What kind of thing were you doing?
I was basically his right-hand woman. There was a team of 4 when I started.
Yeah.
Got rid of, as it went on, everyone seemed to leave, and it was just me and him, and I was managing 15 accounts, and by God, they were the best accounts in Liverpool at the time. It was just amazing. But again, I think sometimes it is that, what else is out there? On paper, it was amazing, but I'd done everything. I was so lucky because he'd give me so much responsibility. I was a bit like, ooh. And one of the clients was a food and drink festival, and I thought, I'd love to do that full time. I'd love to really spend all my time in working on that one project. So I approached the festival for a job. But that's where it kind of went wrong.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so I was there 11 months and it just didn't work out.
What wasn't working? It didn't...
I don't know. They didn't have a PR department when they started. And when I went there, I said, listen, I'm PR on the festival. I can bring other clients. We could set something up.
But they're not open to that?
Yeah, they were. But it didn't fit. Brilliant businesswoman who ran it.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me.
Right.
But the problem was I was getting married. It was the November, so I'd been there 10, 11 months by the November, and I was getting married in the May, and it was obviously Christmas. And I just sat down with my husband, and, well, he wasn't my husband at the time, and just said, listen, I'm just so unhappy. I love working, but this just isn't working. And yeah, I went into work one day, and she messaged me and said, so when are you leaving?
Really?
So everyone knew. Everyone, it was apparent.
Right.
And I left on the Friday. Just
quick.
packed my bags and just went.
With what you thinking you're doing?
Nothing. At that time, didn't have a clue. So I was a bit like, right, okay. I went to the...
And can your fellow sort of support you both?
Oh, and at the time, not really. He had a good job, but I just thought, I'll do something. And I wasn't even thinking, I'll get all the clients who I've got there, I'll get them to move me. No way was that ever a thought process. I just thought, I've been all right. I've always had a job. I'll be all right. And then, yeah, on the way home, I went the offie. I bought a bottle of rum and knocked on our mate's door and said, Paul, I need you to build me a website. I think I'm going to go on my own. And that's what happened. Bottle of Sailor Jerry's got me a website, Nicola Rowland's Communications, which if I looked at that now, it just would make me laugh. But yeah, that was it. And then I thought, yeah, I'll go alone. But
what are you thinking? Are you thinking what client you're going to get? How are you going to do this?
I hadn't really thought about clients, which sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just left the job and I just didn't have any idea. And there was a funny moment on the Monday. I woke up and thought, I haven't got a job. And I remember I got a solicitor's letter off my old employer saying, you
can't do this.
Listen, here's a list of all the people I won't want you to talk to in the next 12 months. And that wasn't my thought at all. I was more upset that she thought I would do that. This is how bonkers my brain works, rather than how am I going to afford my life. That was a massive, wow, I'm not capable of that. What am I going to do? So I went after their competitors. I wrote a list of who the competitors were to that list, which... that was hard because I had relationships with those people, but I needed the money.
So go on, what you think? You wrote it down, and then you get in the phone, ringing them up. What are you saying?
Yeah. So, for example, there was a Hairdressers on there, big Hairdressers, who rang me and said, "Listen, we're coming with you," and I'm like, "You can't." There was a deli on there, "We're coming with you." They fought to work with me. I said, "You can't. I can't do it." My solicitors who were on the list were like, listen, we'll help, there's a way around this, we'll fight it. I said, no, I can't. I think it was more the fact I was getting married as well. I couldn't have any stress. I wanted to be a PR company. I thought, if this gets out that I'm
this
doing
is what
this,
you liked from the off,
my reputation will be battered. So yeah, I just literally knocked on a few doors and I managed to get one client.
What was the client?
It was a Hairdressers called Hooker.
Right.
And it covered...
What is it, Hooker? H-O-O-K?
Yeah, they're not going anymore.
I think you heard of them.
Yeah, they're not going anymore, but...
Were they quite big in Liverpool, were they?
Yeah, well, we work with Voodoo,
Right.
which I'm still good friends with now.
Oh, really?
But yeah, that was the right. I've got a client, and that was just before Christmas. I thought, right, I've got a client. And then a couple more popped up. I can't remember. I found the list the other day and I was just like, but it kind of all changed, I would say. Because it's fair to add, I didn't have much to do with my wedding at all, to the point where my wedding ring is still 2 sizes too big because I had to pick a wedding ring and a dress. My dress was fine. I just picked one out of the window. But my ring is still too big. My makeup person was from the Debenhams counter because I found them 2 days before the wedding. Because Ed just did everything.
Really?
And it was amazing, so yeah. But the business really needed my love at that time. And then when it all changed is when I went for a Hard Day's Night hotel, which I wouldn't have gone for, and I think other people went, "We got nothing to lose." And we went up against...
So what they do, they put a tender out or something?
Put a tender out. There was other agencies going for it.
But you're on your own?
Yeah.
You've not... What, have you got a year's books?
I didn't even have that. This was April.
And you're going for tenders?
Yeah. So there was someone else that was a great support to me early on, and she did a bit of business development on herself, and she said, listen, if you want to go for it and I want to go for it, we'll kind of go for it. And I just remember turning up in the day and there was these big companies, they had these big presentations, and I'd basically, with my hired laptop, because I didn't have a laptop, decided to just do 10 ideas. I thought I'll keep it really simple. 10 ideas that I'd do in the hotel. I think I did it on clip art, looking back. And yeah, we won it. And that was the turning point then. I thought, blummin' heck, to win that hotel, which for me was just one of the biggest brands in the city. I thought, I'm onto something here.
How long ago was that? How many years ago was it?
2011.
Was it?
Yeah, and that was the turning point for me, I think, when that.
So you're not even a limited company or anything?
No.
Just kind of starting out.
No,
Massive that, mate.
Still didn't have a clue.
Big that, isn't it?
Yeah, didn't have a clue. And I think I think we went on honeymoon in the July. Because it was about 12 weeks after the wedding, something like that. And I goes, if we don't go on honeymoon, we're going to get divorced. And we went to someone else's wedding in France, and we said, we'll just travel for a few weeks afterwards. And I think that was good, because that was the first time I'd gone away and we're like, what have we done?
Yeah, step back and kind of gone.
Yeah, and some people have paid me, so I had a bit of money in the bank. So, but yeah, I think it was meant to be. I think it was. And then, it just went from there, really. But never wanted to be a boss. Never wanted to... I liked being in the back bedroom, on the laptop, on my own. Yeah. And, that was going to be fine by me. I worked, and Hard Day's Night was my office.
Was
you
it?
know, there's still staff there now that say, remember we used to bring you a cup of tea, and, they were so good to me. I had all my meetings there. That was my base for a bit.
So what was... From that then, is your name getting out there and you're getting other clients, or what are you doing for marketing, what are you doing to get your name out to get more clients? Or are you just basically just... Yeah,
looking back, I think it wasn't until the 12 months. I played it really safe because even when I was going for other clients, I don't know, I just didn't want to step on anyone's toes. I didn't want to seem like this force of nature who'd left a business and set up on her own. I don't know, I was really conscious of image and just wanted to keep things ticking along nicely and probably doing more work behind the scenes. Because as long as I was earning what the equivalent of a wage was, I wasn't being greedy. I wasn't, I just wanted to take it one step at a time. And then I think when the 12 months come, that was the bit that, I don't know, I think the anniversary of Pink, well, it wasn't Pink Media, it was just me. That's when clients came back and said, right, our 12-month wait is over.
Really?
Yeah. Our oldest client, who's still on the books now, I reckon it's one of the longest retainers in the country. Dali Fonseca's been with me 8 years.
Says a lot, doesn't it? And
I just remember she went, right, are we ready to go? And I thought, that to me now still gets me. That, we laughed about it the other day. She went, remember when we couldn't work together? Like, just that is why I loved being on my own, and I thought, I'm ready for you now. And it was her, it was another guy who I'd done a story on in Southport. however many years ago when I was a reporter, he came on the books, Trattoria, they're still a client. And as I say, there was just a few then, and I thought, no, we're good to go. But then, where were we up to? I was turning 30 and I went on holiday, and I remember my 30th birthday, sat on a laptop crying because I'm writing a press release about a venue I was working with, and my husband said, you need to get someone in now because it's getting busy, and you're not invincible. You
Scary
need to get
that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really scary.
Because as I say, I just didn't want staff. I liked the control of me. I liked working in the middle of the night or whenever I needed to. But I think it was also scary because I was like, wow, there's potential here. And luckily there was a very persistent young lady who'd been going to his work, looking for work experience, someone he knew, there was a link. And he went, listen, she's not right for me, but she's been in my office 3 times. I think you should meet her. And yeah, I met her, and Steph, she changed everything. And yeah, Steph came and worked with me again.
What was she doing initially? What were you...
No
experience in media or PR.
No, so she was a very clever young lady, and she studied at university. So from an educational perspective, she was brilliant, but she was fresh. To me, she was fresh, and she got it. She was a perfectionist, and I just thought she's got the same traits as me here. And I just thought the clients would love her. And again, that was a big step, introducing her. I was very cagey. Delegation, I've only learned how to do that in the last few years. But yeah, the clients met her, loved her. And I thought, I'm getting a taste for this. I can see the growth. But yeah, obviously, I couldn't use hard days as an office for 2 people. So we got a little office. And at the time, when I think about it, it was about the size of this. But it was just my life. It was just... I had an office and just crazy what excites you. But yeah, it just from there, it just kept going and going and going. And as I say, it's been a real natural progression. Steph's not with me anymore. She left a couple of years ago. But again, just love the bones of her. She's still so proud of us and stuff. So
it's good, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
really good.
And we can still laugh about how it all started.
So you had that little office in, was it the centre of Liverpool, was it?
Yeah, so that was in the women's org, upstairs.
And what were you then? What were you called then?
I think Pink Media was a couple of years in. So
when did you decide to call it Pink Media?
Yeah, well,
what was that?
The perception of Nicola Pink is that I've made my name up. Still get it to this day. No one believes me that my name's Pink. But when I got married, I was a bit like, I'm a bit silly not using the surname Pink. It just seemed wrong. And me and Ed had looked at names, and at this point Ed was happy in his career and didn't think he'd ever go freelance. And all of a sudden, we talked about Pink Lion and reading all these blogs where pick your favourite animal, pick a colour. And then Ed goes, what about Pink Media? And I was like, oh, I love that. And I remember looking, and it was a gay radio station in Australia, I think. And I was like, oh, don't think I can have that. And then it became available that week. It was really weird. The company had dissolved. And I thought, sod it, I'm just going to become Pink Media. I hadn't really thought about it. Mm-hmm. I knew someone who I'd done work for who was quite supportive. I'd done a lot of copyright work when I was on my own. They owned a branding agency, and I said, listen, John, do you think you could do a brand for me? And he did it, and I just thought, he's got it. Yeah. It all seemed right, because again, as I was winning the bigger clients, I thought, I can't have a picture of a typewriter. And I think it was just a Helvetica in pink.
Clip art,
yeah, I thought, I can't have this anymore. We need to look a bit slicker. So yeah, that's when we become Pink Media. But as I say, that's been an education process for people, because as I say, like, people think my girls are called Alicia Pink and Danny Pink, and people expect us to walk in Barbie clothes, and we're not that at all. So that's probably the biggest thing that we have to tell people about. But yeah, it's not put anyone off.
I don't think it's pretty put off, though, because I mean, at the end of the day, your brand's about you and the values and the the virtues of what you're all about, and the girls are exactly the same. It's like when you met that girl, you said she's the same as you.
Yeah.
No, that's what Pink Media is all about.
Yeah.
Is them set of values, not what it looks like. Or
yeah, and I remember we did the PR for Haynes Watts Accountants, who'd followed me from my old guy employer. They were like, listen, we want to support you in your business. And Des, who was one of the bosses there, loveliest man I've ever met, he was in his 60s. And the tale for me was kind of thinking, if someone says to him, who does your PR? Can I imagine him saying Pink Media? And he did. And he used to say it really proudly, and he'd be like, it's Pink Media. And I thought, if he can say it, it's not an issue. And as I say, it wasn't... I think
it's mad, isn't it? Because it's like, you know, I always tell people this, and it's not about the name or anything. It's so much more than that. Yeah. And he's saying that. He don't care what it sounds like or what it looks like. He's saying it because he's dead proud of it.
He was.
And I think that's why people get these brands. They too concentrate on what other people are going to think about what it is. You kind of lose sight of what it means.
Yeah.
So it's good that, when somebody says that, and it's just like...
Oh, yeah, it's just...
It means much more than that.
Yeah, and I think it meant so much to me when people didn't used to get, well, because they still do a little bit, they go, oh, Nicola does our PR. But now they go Pink Media. A lot of people say Pink, so they go, oh, Pink do it. But I still kind of like that because it's not me anymore. It's a collective that do it.
Yeah.
Because the team are what drive
it. It's only the same
now.
with me. It's only the same with Tim Marner. Everybody's got the same sort of like, it's basically just about looking after people. And that's what Tim Marner is. It's just a name above a door.
Yeah.
Everybody in there is Tim Marner, and we're just all part of the thing.
Yeah.
It's hard. I made the same journey where I was like, I've got to detach myself from it a little bit and understand that because I used to write everything I, and I still get it today when I'm doing stuff on social. I put I, and then I've kind of got to switch and like, it's not about you, it's about we and us lot as a thing. So I totally get that, and it's really scary. You know, when Gaz first came on, he was a bit like Steph. He just pestered us. Yeah. He got a graphic design degree, amazing designer, and basically couldn't get a job anywhere. I was working at PC World for 2 years, and every time we're going in buying a new Mac, me and Lee, he's pestering us. We're just like, motherfucker, right, I'm just going to give you a shot, mate.
Yeah. I would literally take everyone on if I could.
Yeah.
I don't believe in free work experience. I'm not like, we get hammered for apprenticeships, and at the moment I'm getting hammered for staff in general, and I'd take the world on if I could, because I think I've learned from my past jobs, and I've learned what a bit of a few pats on the back and a bit of guidance can do to people. And I think, I was talking about more recent members of staff. Well, you look at Danny's been with me a couple of years now. She left the University of Liverpool marketing department, and you've got Becca, who's left Skill to come and work for us. That means so much to me. And I think that balanced with people who've come fresh out of uni, like I said, with Alicia, and you look at Reb, who came from a massive hotel group. For me, that's what gives me the kick, seeing that they want to come and work for us.
How did you when you were taking people on? How did you learn how to manage people? Because for me, that's one of the biggest struggles that I've had, is understanding how to manage people. And
I
think what we're saying before about delegation and letting go has been my biggest thing. Like I say, with Gaz pestering, then coming on board, and then I've kind of got to let control and go, look, I've got to give someone else.
Terrible. And I think the delegation came from really hard times in my life. Right. I think with Steph, my nan passed away. Right. And my nan was my mum, my dad, my nan, my everything. Like my best thing. And when she died, I remember messaging Steph saying, my nan's died. And I think she knew. Yeah. I said, over to you. And I remember. She
stepped up. And
I just left her. And that's the only time I've truly switched off from work ever in my life. I'm going to say switched off. I think it was probably a week, but
Yeah.
And then with the other girls, sounds like a really unfortunate life, but when I did IVF, and then I got cancer in the space of 3 weeks. That was another time where I was like, okay, over to you. Now I still went into work every day, and even when I had Stella, I had 6 weeks off, and I'm still badgering them on phone. But I think when things like that happen, or they actually push me, they made me do that. And if I look at that, 2017 was probably the hardest year of my life, and not worst, because great things came from that. My husband got better, and I got a beautiful daughter. But if you look at the year that followed, which was 2018, that was the busiest year we'd ever had. That was the best year Pink Media had ever had. So I think those things happened for a reason, which I do love that phrase, but I think they did because it made the team, it gave them a bit of space from me to get on with it and do what they want.
What to be said about that as well, wasn't there? Just kind of coming away and letting them...
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because not that I watch everything they do, I trust them with that business wholeheartedly. Yeah. You know, you look at the holidays I take now compared to what I used to have. I used to have phones stuck to me. I used to take my laptop on holiday, and now I don't, because, you know, I think the phrase is, you know, you always employ people who can do the job better than you, and they can. They're amazing. So I think it took really bad times for me to go, they've got this, leave them alone. And as I say, when I went away the other year, I got sick and we were away for a long time and it was just crap. But the team won Liverpool Museums as a client. So I was like, that just proves I don't need to be anywhere near you. You know, that sort of thing. So no, they are more than capable. I just think the management side of things, we're a really friendly team. We're like a little family. And because we are close-knit. And I do think it's really hard to get that balance. And I hope they would agree. I've always said what I love about the team is when they do something right and when someone has a success, they are each other's biggest champions. I love it. It makes me so proud. If someone does something wrong or something goes wrong, they can bollock each other. But then they move on. And they've got that balance. So...
But have they got that balance from you teaching them that?
I hope so. I hope so, because as I say...
But do you sit them down and say, look, you know, this is the way... Yeah. This is the Nicola Pink way, and this is the way we want to do it.
I do think there is a Pink Media way, from the way they write press releases to the way they talk to the clients to the way we are in our office together. Yeah. And like, you know, how I can go out and get drunk with them at Christmas or go on nights out and all the rest of it. Yeah. Or we can talk about times of the month, or we can do... This sounds very stereotypical, but you know what I mean? If they've got something wrong in their lives, I hope they can go to me, like, can we go and have a cup of tea? Which we do. I tell them my problems. I'm very open in that office because you're in work longer than you're at home, so you might as well be.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I do think they still know I'm their boss at the end of the day. Yeah. And I feel like that. And I think if you feel like that, then there must be that level of, you know, right, this is a job, I can't.
Yeah, I pretty much do it the same way as you, mate, to be honest. But like a lot of people have told me not to be like that and distance yourself and not you. But I'm just like, I can't be anything else but myself, and that's who I am as a person. And this is the way I want to run my business, because I feel I'm more of a lifestyle really than anything else. And I want to make sure that not only the sort of like wealth is sorted out, but the health as well. And you know, we have a woman come and do massages once, you know, a bit like what Ryan does and stuff, and you know, make sure everyone's kind of looked after.
And I think we need to do that a bit more for them. Like we have away days, and you know, we've got lovely clients. We went on spa day, and like we'll go for lunch, and I say it's treating them, but it's not treating them. I think that's what you should do. You know, and if we win clients or if we have successes, and blooming hell, my auntie comes in the office and brings a tough box in for them all, you know, just because she's lovely. But that's the environment. I don't see the point in being so strict and rigid with things. If people are doing their job and they're doing it well, that's fine by me.
What's your take on awards? I know we've talked about this before a little bit, but just give me your take on awards.
Awards for clients I love. I think I strongly tell clients to go for them. Danny in our office is Mrs. Award Queen. She just smashes submissions. And we've always done them for clients, but we'd never done them for us. Yeah.
What was the reason for that?
Oh, the PR company who doesn't PR themselves, I'd say. I've been shortlisted for bits, whether they've... I don't know. I think the bad year we talked about, I was shortlisted for business person. And I was a bit like, of all the years to win it. It was 2 weeks before I had the baby. I was like, and I wasn't even massive, to be honest. No one knew I was pregnant. I didn't tell anyone. So that night, I was like, right, I'm going to show the business community what's really been going on. And I thought, if I won this tonight, it would be amazing. Of all years to win it. And I didn't win it. And I thought, I was a bit disappointed at the time. But I won it in October, just gone. And on reflection, that was the best time to win it. I think
What did it mean to you, that winning that award?
Oh, it's madness. It was a total shocker. I obviously knew it was being put in. Alicia wrote it, and I knew it was going in. On the night, I don't know, I didn't really think about it. Every time I've been shortlisted for something, I always go to Ed. Oh, I've got a funny feeling. Now, Ed films these awards in question, the Merseyside Independent Business Awards, so he knew I was going to win it. And he said, it's really strange this year. You never said you were going to win. You didn't really talk about it. You just liked being shortlisted. And he said, your attitude changed. And then on the night, we had quite a few clients up for awards, and I was just thinking about them winning. A good friend of mine, she was up for two. She didn't win, and I think I was that focused on them winning that when mine got read out, just complete shock. Honestly, well, anyone who's seen the pictures from the official night will realise how much shock I was in. It's the worst picture you'll ever see.
And do you think about it and think, oh, do you deserve the thing? Or have you always got that little bit of imposter syndrome, however, kind of?
A little bit, but I don't know. I think it just felt so right. That looking back at it, and I've had time to process it, it was terrible when people were congratulating me, like the buzz from it, and I still was a bit, I either talked about the photograph or talked about, I don't know, like, just was crazy that happened. And then 2 weeks later, we won Best PR Company from another award, which was just crazy. We'd never won anything in our lives, and to win 2 in 2 weeks was just bonkers.
See, I just don't know how I feel about them, me. I just like, I don't know, I've just got really mixed emotions on awards. I think it's not about... I
think we deserve to win one. I kept saying to the team, we need to win one. Would I prefer one that is PR Company of the Year or Company of the Year? 100%.
Yeah, because it's not about you, it's about...
Yeah. I'd love the team to go up on that stage and pick it up. However, the Business Person of the Year, that is something I will... I kept saying, I want to get a picture of Stella holding the trophy, and then I saw that it was glass, and I was like, no way. But no, I just... Looking back on it, I think I've worked really hard, and 8 years in, it sits nicely in the cabinet, and I know how prestigious it is. I know it is a big deal. But yeah, awards in general, I don't know. I'm up for another one in a few weeks, but I don't know. I think it's time for the team now to pick some up. Yeah. But just the fact the clients win, like that does our PR, you know. I love it when a client wins. We won a solicitor's firm. They hadn't won anything. I think they've been shortlisted for about 6 in 18 months, and they've won 3. That, to me, says we do a good job.
Yeah, I think when the first time you came, was it, who came in with you? What's she called, the girl who came
Alicia.
in? Alicia, when you and Alicia came in, like, obviously I've got reservations on PR firms and stuff, but like when first meeting you and what you talk about, I could tell you they were a real deal. I could tell that girl who was the journalist who ran with the camera to get that story is still instilled into Pink Media. Yeah. You know, that story of telling other people's story and help that person who can't tell the story. Yeah. Is what you're all about. Yeah. You know, really deep down, the essence of Pink Media is that. Yeah. It's great, all these awards and stuff like that, but really that is what you're all about, that girl who was running with that camera to get that. And when you did that thing for Ryan and stuff, it would kind of solidified in me to kind of go, look, this isn't like... PR. This is like somebody and you go to his radio stations with him. Yeah. To hold his ankle, what a fucking horrible thing to do on your own, you know, but you're there with him every step of the way. And
it's not just me. As I say, I just... Yeah, the industry's got a really bad perception, but at the end of the day, we're helping businesses. It's like I say, we have WhatsApp groups, we have email addresses, we go and sit in meetings. We do go over the top with some clients. I've sat with business consultants who are going, why have you spent 57 hours on a client that's paid you for 2? Yeah. Because if you do a good job, it will speak volumes and you get it back. I truly believe you'll get it back. I've done so much free stuff in the past. Yeah. I've done so much stuff where I go, why am I doing this? You know, I'm sure the team think I'm the softest of the lot of them because they go, why are we still doing that for them? Yeah. And hopefully I have a reason for it. But I love the fact that I think you just got to be, because that's just who you are. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't help that. And you've got to be business savvy if you want to grow. Like, in terms of this year, our outgoings and things are bigger than ever before. Really, when I first started, there was nothing. There was a laptop. That was it.
Yeah.
And a mobile. Whereas now, we have a lot of licenses in our industry. We have a lot of reporting system analysis. I'm a massive measurement and evaluation advocate. So things like that are bigger, but you can't lose your values about why you're doing what you do. Because I think that's why we have been going as long as we have. I thought we'd been going for a long time, but someone said to me last year, they were like, do you realise, like, coming up to 10 years for a PR company, that's a long time in your industry? And it wasn't until he said it, I thought, yeah, I know quite a few people who aren't going anymore. And yeah, there's a lot of people who are entering the sector because that's just the way it is. But you can't lose sight of why you do what you do. And I do think we all get a kick out of that. Oh, what's the hook of this? What's the story angle of it? But it is trust. Definitely trust. A lot of this is built on trust. It's people's businesses. I often say, I don't know how I'd be if I had a PR company looking after Pink Media, but I have. Yeah. You know, there's no coincidence that in the last 12 months we've had our best year, yeah, when I've said to that team, do what you want. PR us however you want. Now,
this is what you should be talking about. This is what the girls should be talking about on their Instagram, and you're not doing any of that.
I know. And Pink Media is having a bit of a loss of an identity at the moment.
A little bit, yeah, because it's like, you know, you kind of start fitting in, you start looking at awards, you start looking at all these things. There's nothing wrong with them things, but by looking out and saying, you know, what will people perceive as after when we win this award? What will people say? You miss your whole identity and like what you've kind of built up. And I think it's important that the girls need to be doing videos like this, like you're talking, why client relationships, you know, it's all about the people. I know it's all right putting quotes on and, you know, your quotes are in pink and you're just like, well, I'm expecting that.
I want the pink to go.
It needs to go, mate, because it's not about the colour pink.
Yeah, I think any other colour would be fine.
It's about what it stands for.
Yeah.
Everything that you're about, your virtues and everything.
It was when we spoke last and...
You need to be a disruptor in this market.
Yeah.
You need to be the pirates of fucking PR agencies.
Yeah. I just think when we sat together, I came away and I was like, I don't think it says anywhere on any of our marketing established by Nicola Pink in 2011. I think we put that in proposals and I think we mention it in my bio, but that's why there's a lot of confusion with the pink because people wonder where it's come from.
That's an easy fix, isn't it?
Yeah. And as I say, as 5 very strong-minded females, we all do have opinions.
But that's also part of your brand, but I don't know that. But only because you told me. It doesn't. It's not that on your social media either.
No.
It's such a big thing to have that.
Yeah, and I think we've been...
Like, and PR agency run by women. I think that's amazing, mate.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think...
Imagine if you actually marketed that.
And someone did... We've just had a big referral through. Yeah. Because that was their perception. Yeah. They wanted an all-female led. It's actually PRing something which is all-female.
So that's your thing. That's your thing. Yeah. But you're not saying it.
Someone did come and meet me the other day and said, "Oh, when I went on the website, you all look like a bunch of supermodels." So that, don't know how we took that.
That.
Yeah, what else? The fact that I'm 10 years older than all of them.
What's that?
Yeah, I was like, that's fine. But yeah, I think we've come to a time we've been so busy, and I know loads of companies say this, but we're so busy working in the business that we haven't really worked on the business, and especially in the job that we do.
I was saying that the other day, because you get so close to it like that, you just don't get time to just kind of...
Yeah, it's like I looked at our social, and we've worked with another company for 7 years, and we went out to a meeting and it was amazing, and they're a charity, and I'm so proud to work with them. And I thought, I didn't take a picture. I didn't put anything on to say I'd been with them. And the feelings I got in the meeting were what I got when I first started working with them. I worked with them for free. I remember I went for my brekkie there. It's the Brink. Went for breakfast there.
What's the Brink?
It was the UK's first dry bar.
Oh, really?
Obviously, people have copies and whatnot, but they're supported by the Duchess. So, in fact, her and Mary Berry were there at Christmas doing a TV show. But I remember I went for breakfast there 7 years ago, again with Ed. He used them for catering, and I was blown away by it. The fact that everyone was in recovery who works there, and but it was amazing. And I said, I need to work with you. And I was like, I've just set up, I'll do it for free. For a few months, I'll do it for free. And I remember, again, another pop-up office for me. And I ordered me lunch, and one of the guys came over who still works there with a cup of tea. And he said, you look like you needed a cup of tea. And I went, all right, thanks. And he went, and he put his hand on mine, and he went, thank you so much for what you're doing for us. You'll never know how grateful we are. And I thought, oh my God, like, he totally had me off. And I remember just after that, I wrote to the Brink and said, listen, whatever happens after this 3 months, thank you so much. If I can name drop you as a client, that's the job done. And they went, hang on a minute, I think we've got a bit of a budget. And I've worked with them ever since. And I just...
Why are you telling these stories?
Yeah,
You do me head in, Nicola.
I know. And literally when we went the other day, they've just rebranded themselves a little bit internally, and I thought, and I walked out the meeting with Danny, and Danny handles the account, and they're just so happy, and I went, I've just got the same feeling I got as when I went there years ago. We need to just give them all the love again. Not that we don't, but let's look at them again as if they've just started and get the team involved.
I totally get that.
Yeah, and I thought, we're so lucky to these companies, whether it's 50 quid, £5,000, whatever it might be, it's money out their pockets, and you've got to support them. And I truly believe they won't get it like they get it anywhere else. I know that, you know. But yeah, we're so lucky. Our clients are just amazing. We are. We've got, I actually think we've got the best client list in the world. But there we go. Yeah. So yeah, we will start sharing some more of these stories.
It's got to be done, but you've just got to put a plan in place to
it will.
It's like nobody thinks like this. You know, I mean, so many businesses and stuff. Nobody thinks like this, like you think. You know?
I hope not.
They don't think like that, mate, honestly. You do it from a place of kindness.
Yeah.
That's your first thing, and then you think about money.
Yeah, Reb in our team says, well, she was going, why don't we do a report for Pink Media, a monthly report? Everyone else gets one. Why aren't Pink Media a client? And I love it. I need her to keep banging on at me like that, because everyone else gets all this attention. We are PR and marketeers. Like, this should be a walk in the park for us. But it's
hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not last year, the year before, I branded up 2 creative agencies because they were too close to it.
I think we're too close
and they didn't see it from the outside. And I'm just like, look, you know, what you're all about, what you know.
Yeah.
And one of them, we branded up and they didn't like who they were. So they changed the name and changed the whole brand. I said, this is who you are, right? This is who you are right now. This is exactly what you're portraying off. And they said, oh, we don't like ourselves. We're going to change our name and do it all again.
Yeah, I've had those thoughts.
But it's got to be, the girls have got to be showing up on social media.
Yeah.
They've got to be start talking and stuff like that on social and
it's for them as much as me.
But these stories need to be told.
Yeah.
Because it gets lost because, like, I'm not calling anybody, but people are soft.
Yeah. They're
soft. They don't want to put in the hard work. I did so much stuff for free when I first started as well. And there's nothing in it for me. What's in it? I'm just like, you've got to do them bits. You've got to do shit for free. Yeah. Do service for service starting off. Get your portfolio up. Just like you said, just can I name drop you? And they go, why would we? Do you want to do that? We want to work with you now. Yeah. You're just like, you've done everything for us. And it's so important to tell these stories, mate, because nobody gets the graft that you put in and the free shit you do, and people telling you, what you're doing that for free for, what you're getting out of it, and it's just they don't get it.
Yeah. And even at this point in the whole scheme of things, we've seen ops, and I know that, for example, the person might not have any money, or they might have, it's not the right time, or whatever. That's not stopped me. If I wanted them as part of the thing, and that's the thing I love about the team. Not all of their jobs are business development at all, but those girls sell that business on a day-to-day basis. Wherever they go for dinner, they go for a drink, they part of the clients we've won because they've just gone, I'm going to message them on Instagram. They do that, and that is there. And I know how lucky I am to have that there. It's given them the tools to do that, because the amount of change we have had, and it's not an excuse. I do believe you've got to look at what our services list was, 8 years ago in comparison to what it is now. Yeah. It is so different. Every business has change. I believe we've had a lot of change.
Yeah.
And I think that's why at the moment we are looking at everything. You know, we meet some people and go, oh my God, I love your brand. It's amazing. It's fabulous. And don't get me wrong, Tim, we're still very referral based. In terms of clients we actually go for, 5% maybe. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. But I know Pink Media is not my baby anymore. Pink Media was my original baby until I had an actual one. It isn't my baby anymore. It's something else. Yeah. And it's owned by a lot of people. Yeah. And I don't know if you say to your staff, though, even though it is my business, and even though I deal with all the shitty stuff and, you know... I
said it the other day, exactly the other day. I would just have to keep reminding everybody it ain't about me. Yeah. It's about us.
And sometimes I think staff might go, that's great, but the money goes in your bank. If my business does well, my girls get rewarded.
I did that same conversation about maybe 3 days ago.
Yeah, because I don't want to be a millionaire. I want to have a job I love. Yeah. I want to look after people. I do feel like a bit of a mum. You know, I like looking at being a work mum. Yeah. And I do love that success.
Exactly the same as me, you know. Yeah. Exactly the same as me. Even like the sort of like way you've gone on, you know, through your life and the way you treat people and stuff. It's like it's
good to know
it's so refreshing, mate. Yeah. It's hard. It's just like, you know, I have some days where I'm just overthinking stuff and I still get really emotional over stuff, and you know, sometimes I snap, and you know, I snapped at Chloe the other day for just cause like I was projecting on her, but I rang her up that night and I said, look, Chloe, I'm so sorry, dude, I've projected on you, I didn't mean to, and she just like said, thank you, I couldn't, you know, she was saying that I wouldn't have been able to sleep and it rang me, I know, and I forget sometimes, and we are a family, and families are like that. And I said, look, I don't want to be a millionaire. You know, Ryan constantly reminds all the time, you just money's for choices. Your mum gets ill or what's it, your dog gets ill. You've got choices that you can help people out. Yeah. But like you, Tim Marner's about all them in there, and you know, Gaz has just got his first house because I gave him a pay rise, and you know, I want the same for everybody else. And Kay wants to start her own little clothing brand on the side. I want all that for him. Yeah. You know, looking after all my clients and stuff, and that's what my brand's about. It's not what my logo, my website. Yeah. It's how I make people feel and how I look after them. And you're exactly the same. Yeah. And I don't know, some people, I think you say it sometimes, when people go, that's nice. Yeah. And it is true. And I just think, I look at how they are all progressing in their lives. Like, we've just had an engagement, we've just had a house. I couldn't buy a bloody house when I wanted to buy a house because I didn't have many years accounting, blah, 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 and I've got one now. But you know, I've written letters to banks for my girls to get houses, and I worry that I don't give them enough sometimes, and I think sometimes, even like with this new brand, I'm thinking about them so much, about where this is going for them and what it looks like in the future for them. And Ed was saying, like, just take a step back. You can't think about them until you sort your head out. So work out what you want, and then it will come with the stop trying to think about everyone and look after everyone. Yeah. That is my nature. But I think that is right to an extent, because even putting plans together, I think, will she like it, or where does this mean for her in a year, and what about them in 5 years? Because I want to keep all these team members. Yeah. That's the thing I struggle with. Like you said, I get like, I'm overthinking stuff, and I go home and I take it with me, that, and I can't help it. It's just my nature, and you know, some people say you need to switch off from it, but I can't. I've got to think about it's a decision for all of us. Everything that I do, sometimes I balloon and I'll do stuff, and you know, I have struggle with swearing on things. People, you need to stop swearing, you're not got any business. But I'm not asked.
I swear.
It's fine, I think. Yeah. But then I think to myself, well, we'll get more business on so I can help all them out. Yeah. I can't just think about me. I'm not bothered. I've been the same person.
I swear a lot in the office. Yeah.
I know, but I'm talking about camera, trying to get work off other people.
I swear a lot. My little girls, so I just swear words recently, but it's bad. But yeah, and I think obviously because now I am a mum. Yeah. And my brain doesn't work as much as I like it to, and I'm not in the office as much. Yeah. It is finding that balance. That is really hard. Really, really hard to go from getting up at 5 a.m. with a little girl and sorting her out, and then going into it and going, yes, I am a businesswoman. This is what I'm going to do today. Yeah. But we're doing it. I wouldn't say winging it. I'm doing it. It's we're getting there with it.
So how do you, from being a mum, obviously you've been through the hardships and you've got Stella, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then dealing with work as well.
Yeah.
How do you find that work-life balance?
It's a juggle. We're both self-employed.
Yeah.
So I think that is amazing. We're in a very lucky situation.
Yeah.
But again, it can also be too flexible. So as I say, Stella has only just gone into nursery, but more for socialising than childcare, because we said it'd be great if we could have her between us. It is hard. It is hard. Sleep deprivation is not nice. And also, there is days where I just want to be with her, but there's also days when I want to go into work and be the first one in and be the last one out like I used to. So I don't know. I think that's just ongoing. In the award submission for the one I won last year, I remember putting a line in or speaking to Alicia. I don't know which one of us put it in, but I see so many articles from women saying you can't be a mum and be a career woman, or run a business. And I think that's absolute cash.
Yeah, I do.
I think it's hard.
Yeah.
As I went back to work, as I say, after 6 weeks after having Stella. Do I regret it? No. Should I have longer off? Yes. Or do different next time? Yes. But that's just the way things are. And at the end of the day, it's tough. I will miss things. I probably will mess up more because I'm trying to do too many things at once. But that's just the way I choose to do things. I take on too much and I kind of thrive off that. I just, it's bad when she goes, Mummy, work phone, Mummy, personal phone. And you're just like, oh, you too, So I've got better at that. If I'm off with her, the phone gets put in a bag and she doesn't see it, because that upset me a little bit. I was a bit like, all right, so she knows Mummy's always on the blue phone because that's her work phone, So things like that get on me with. But as she's older, she'll realise I'm doing it for her. So, and I love the fact she doesn't come in the office that much because she would just put them all off doing any work. But what an image to show her when she is a bit older, and even now because she talks more than me. So
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, but it's hard. Running a business is hard anyway. So throwing children in the mix and all the rest of it is just. But then everyone's got stuff they deal with, haven't they? So there's no excuse for it.
If you were going to go back and talk to yourself as you was first starting up, if there's any advice you can give yourself when you were starting out Nicola Pink Communications, what advice would you have given to yourself?
Have more confidence in yourself, and just go for it. Just go for it. What's the worst that's going to happen? I would say. And be a bit more open-minded. I think it's just a personality trait. I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. I like things done a certain way. And I think if I would have just opened the doors a little bit more and gone, let's just see where this goes, rather than wanting everything to be a certain way in a certain order. But as I say, would it change anything? Probably not, because all the decisions have led to here. So I think, I probably wouldn't change stuff.
What do you do differently now than you did do back then?
Delegate, definitely.
That's
delegate.
Your biggest thing.
Yeah, and not check over things as much. I think I used to love reading every word and checking everything.
Just the control side.
Yeah, of it. And it's not right. I like texting the team at 7 o'clock and I've spotted this on social. Maybe we should remove the word the.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
And also, what I found hard was I used to love writing. I still do love writing, but that's not the best use of my time. And I think that was a shock a few years ago when I was a bit like, oh no, I can't I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah. I've got to run a business. My job is to run a business. Yeah. Because like Alicia said the other week, and it stuck with me, we were talking about job roles and job titles. And she said, well, what do you do? And she didn't mean it like that at all. She went, what do you do? And I thought, God, my role has completely changed now. I don't actually do any of the things I start the business for doing. I'm with people all the time, which I love, and I help people to grow the business and stuff, but I don't do the writing. I don't get to interview. No, I don't get
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, oh, crikey.
But that's all part of your thing, you know. It's as Nicola Pink's personal brand. Yeah. You should be interviewing people, and get back into doing that, you know, because it's all going to help your brand.
Yeah,
doing
we're definitely going to do these vlog things.
Yeah.
And that, as we were saying, like, it is a bit ridiculous that my husband is so amazing at doing his job, and I don't get him to film anything for me. So I told him I need a retainer.
It's easy,
FOC.
It's easy, innit? FOC, I like it.
Yeah.
If you were going to give advice to, like, a lady, girl, woman who's starting out in business, who's got a kid or maybe got a job or that kind of thing, what advice would you give to somebody? An aspiring businesswoman. Yeah. What would you give some advice to?
Keep going. Just keep going. Like, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people out there that's doing what we're doing. Keep going and just get it done. I think the amount of things that I think about or talk about or we brainstorm about, and I say to the team, if we don't do this now, someone else is going to do it. You know, so if it is a woman who wants to work on a specific account or work with a specific business, just reach out to them. You've got nothing to lose. I think people are more open-minded now. Like, I remember when I decided I can't work 5 days a week with a young child. Yeah. In that, I can't be in the office physically. Yeah. I battered myself. I thought, the team were going to do whatever they wanted to do. But, you know, I thought, I'm not going to be there as much. What are the clients going to do if they ring me on a Thursday? That's what I'm talking about. That's my overthinking. You know, what if I don't answer their WhatsApp group in time?
And then next thing you know, you die.
Yeah. And then the minute I said, right, I'm going to do Monday to Wednesday in the office. Yeah. I'm online on a Thursday, Friday if you need me. But preferably 12 and 1, you message me because you'll be asleep. Well, there we go. It's not that difficult. So as a woman who has a kid who knows she's got Monday to Wednesday, and it's like my sister-in-law, she's talking about setting up a HR business, and she's like, the baby went to sleep and I rang someone who was a potential, and she didn't want to speak to me then, and what do you do? And I'm like, it is hard. It's really hard, you know. But more and more people do it. Our biggest client, the guy who's working with them at the moment, messaged me the other day going, I can't speak to you, but you'll hear my crazy 2-year-old watching Peppa Pig in the background. I thought, well, my kid doesn't watch Peppa Pig, but I'll ring you. Like, I get it. Yeah. You know, I just think you can worry and overthink things so much, and I tell you what, I deserve a medal for it, but everyone's doing it. It's like, and I think because people don't communicate, which is ironic considering what my business is. Yeah. You don't know these things. Yeah. You don't know these things until you tell someone and they go, it's like when I told no one I was doing IVF, I told no one I was pregnant. The minute I did, every bleeding person in the world was going, oh, I've had IVF, I've done that. And now, that's why I talk about it. Because if you don't, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So I would, and don't be afraid to reach out for advice. I said to you, like, I must have 50 people asking for a job in the past 2 weeks. Can't get back to all of them, but I try and answer them.
So how can people get hold of you if they want to?
I'll give you my home address. Like, I'm terrible. I try and help, and if I can't take on, I'll pass it on. Let's not do that,
Nicola. No. But where can they find you on social media?
So Pink Media, LTD, which Tim loves. But no, if you type in Pink Media, we come up. There's like one woman in Barcelona who is an artist who has most of the handles. But yeah, Pink Media, come up quite high on Google.
Nicola, thank you so much for coming on, mate.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.